as we count down for the T20 World Cup being held in Australia. And we see that Australia have announced their squad as the defending champions. The only real change is the spinner Mitchell Swepson is out, and they brought in Tim David into the 15-man squad for the title defence. Tim David, who was the Singapore-born batter. Now, he previously made 14 T20 international appearances for Singapore. He boasts a strike rate of 164 in T20 cricket. He's been known to play, well, he's in the 100 right now, one of the big international signings in the IPL, and I just don't know where they're going to fit him in the side.
It doesn't matter. I tell you, he's the kind of player who can come at any point. And
you like him, don't you?
I love him.
Yeah.
I've seen him play, and I started following him from PSL, where he came in and was a game changer, literally, for the side that he was playing. In IPL, he was signed by Mumbai Indians.
Right.
They gave him a couple of games at the beginning. He didn't really perform. Then he was benched for most part of the tournament. And I was like, no, this is not right. He's your big signing. You've paid him 7 crores odd. You need to use him. And near the fag end of the tournament, when Mumbai was almost out of the tournament and whatever, he was brought in. And this guy performed and changed games like how? He is one of those big match players. He is the kinds who will come 10 deliveries, he'll score 25, 30 odd runs, change the face of the game for you, and gone. And he is one of those modern day, cricketers who doesn't really require a central contract to say so. Travels the world and is happy doing what he's doing.
And given he's only 26 years old, he's got a lot of franchise cricket left in him. He's got a great career so far. Aaron Finch, who is the captain of the Australian T20 side, this is what he had to say on Tim David.
I think over the last sort of 2 years, he's shown his ability, especially at that number 5, 6, 7 role. That's a role within T20 cricket that's so sought after in the world now. There's not a huge amount of people who has that ability around the world. So he's someone who just continues to get better and has had a lot of exposure to different conditions, I think, which is really helpful as well. But yeah, his power, first and foremost, is really impressive. But the overall package, with some handy off-spin overs and good in the field, he's become really consistent in that role, which is really tough to do for a finisher type player, a power hitter. So yeah, I think that would be the role. I think there's plenty of flexibility in our squad though, which is really important when you've got guys who have moved around the order a little bit. So yeah, there's plenty of options there, which is nice.
How close to this?
Playing in home conditions obviously has its advantages. It makes a tournament probably a little bit more comfortable in terms of where you're playing. Most guys would have played there a lot. So I think the competition as it is, the structure that it is, going group stages into a semi-final knockout, it's really brutal. So I think you have to win those close games. You have to be prepared to be aggressive and take the game on and put the opposition under so much pressure. But yeah, there's high risk, high reward in T20 cricket, and if you get it wrong, we saw last year South Africa won 4 games in the group and didn't make it through. So that's how brutal it can be at times. So you have to be mindful of run rate and things like that throughout the tournament as well. If you get into a position where you can win well, it's not to take them opportunities for granted, because that can come back and bite you if you don't. So it'll be a really even tournament. The wickets will be good, no doubt. There's some serious teams around the world.
Yeah, there is Aaron Finch talking about the upcoming tournament. Still a lot of pressure on him. I mean, his limited overs form has been very, very poor. Former Australian captains have come out and said, not with his footwork should he be in the side. I know he's the defending captain only 12 months ago, but yeah, he's a good captain, works the bowlers well, great in the field, but you still got to score runs.
Yeah, you have to. You can't be like Tim Payne, right? That you are in the team just because you're the captain.
Yeah.
You have to deliver. And I think that is something that Aaron Finch, is surely lucky with the fact that he won the T20 World Cup and there was no reason to move him out or away. But after this World Cup, maybe he if he's smart enough, he himself would say, listen, I want to take a little break.
We were speaking about that generational change that had Australia not made the semi-finals for that World Cup. It really would have been the end of both David Warner and Aaron Finch playing T20 international cricket for Australia, because you would have gone, no, I've had a good 10 years. time for the next generation to come through.
No, true.
Here's what the head of Australian selectors, George Bailey, had to say on those rumours about Aaron Finch.
Pretty relevant points there. I think Finch's record over his entire career is a pretty incredible one. He's the leader of the team, and I think he'd be a very brave person to write him off. So very excited for him to lead his team in a home World Cup, which is pretty special.
Yeah, and I've got to agree with that. But also Aaron Finch spoke about the upcoming future for Australian cricket.
Yeah, I think we're pretty settled with how we want to play and the structure of the side that we've been playing over the last sort of 18 months. I think the only real change is if we play two frontline spinners in Zampa and Agar, and then using Maxwell as one of the all-rounders to fill that fifth bowler role. We feel really comfortable that Maxi is one of those our frontline five bowlers as well. So just having that flexibility means that we're able to juggle that around a bit. I think that'll become a conditions-based discussion where, especially going to India, I think we're in Mohali, which tends to seam and carry through. Then we're in Hyderabad, which can be spin-friendly at times, and Nagpur, I think that's the second one, which can be a really good wicket but can take some turns. So I think there'll be opportunities to not experiment, but just play the conditions in front of us. As guys get older and start to phase out, that Cam and that new brigade can start taking the game forward and taking the team forward over the next period of time. But yeah, I'm super excited for what he brings with the ball. He hasn't had a huge amount of opportunity with the bat being down at number 8, but it's still a very impressive package. Like most players, your first 10 balls are your most vulnerable in any innings that you play. So it's just continuing to make sure that I'm starting my innings in the right way, and I'm just getting a little bit planted on my front foot. When I get a bit heavy there, it starts to affect the rest of my game because you lose a bit of intent and you lose a bit of flow in your innings. So, but I feel as though that's coming along really well. I think the rewards will be there very soon. Just hasn't happened just yet.
Yeah, so there was Aaron Finch talking about Australian cricket. Yeah, the countdown is on, something like 50 days until the men's ICC T20 World Cup.
Well, yes, but then again, it's definitely going to be the home side that's going to be favourite. Australia, in Australia, with the kind of champion side that they have, plus a fantastic addition in Tim David, I think they definitely have their noses ahead in the race.
Yeah, tough